All right, guys. So for this week's digital nomad visa overview, I wanted to look at Colombia. Now, this is the first South American country that we're going to take a peek at, but I thought it would be a great one to begin with because Colombia is really a popular destination for digital nomads and just expats and immigrants, and just if you're looking to move someplace out of the United States and you want an affordable option, Colombia is really becoming super popular. Mexico is probably one of the easiest because it's so close to the United States, but Colombia is not that far away by plane, and there's a lot of options. I'm gonna say, me personally, Medellin is one of the coolest, most beautiful cities I have been to in all of Latin America. So just for me, from a personal perspective, I think Medellin is fantastic. Okay, so let's get into just some of the basics that you need in order to qualify for a Colombian digital nomad visa. Now you're gonna have to have the basics. You need your valid passport. You're gonna need some passport photocopies. I'd always have like a stack of just backup copies because if you're applying for anything, you will need them. So always have those on hand. And you're gonna if you're like a W-2 worker, you work for another company and you're remote, you're going to need a letter from that company saying, yeah, you can work for them. You can work out of the country. If you're already allowed to work remotely, that probably won't be an issue, but you're going to have that. If you're a 1099 contract freelance worker, you're going to need, the documentation that shows you have contracts with these people, that the work is ongoing, that you will still have work once you land in Colombia, and you'll have to have your financials in order. The financials are super easy. We'll get into that in a minute. But you'll need that, and you'll need something called a motivational letter. It's kind of like a cover letter. Different countries call them different things, but this is a motivational letter. It details your entrepreneurial projects, what you plan on doing. Be honest, be upfront, be like, hey, I'm a writer. I want to write about my experiences in Colombia. Be honest, but also say how much you want to be in Colombia and how much whatever you're doing could potentially benefit Colombia. Also, health insurance. You're gonna need health insurance, but that's again another basic thing that you're gonna really need to have wherever you go. But now let's get into the financial aspects of it. To qualify for the Colombian digital nomad visa, you have to make 3 times what the average income is. The average income is in Colombia, and so that means it does change a little bit annually. Right now, you'll need to make about $684 a month. Just round it up to 700. Again, this is the beginning of 2024. You might, in the coming years, you'll just have to keep on adding up to it. Adding above $700. But if you're making at least $200 a week in the United States, you will be able to qualify. So that's pretty good. Like I said, it is a very affordable option. Now, the bigger cities like Medellin and Cartagena, Cartagena isn't really huge, but it is a popular tourist destination. It's on the beach. So those kinds of cities are starting to get more expensive because more expats and immigrants and digital nomad holders are going there. Just keep that in mind. But it's still very affordable. Bogota is it's the capital city. There's a lot to do, but so there's plenty of options. But again, generally extremely affordable. Now, the application, you're gonna have to pay about $52 to apply. That's not bad. If you're applying for some things in Europe, those are gonna be a couple $100 often. So $50, not bad for your application fee. And the length of time when you apply for the digital nomad visa, if you are approved, as long as you can show all the basic information, you should be approved. Once you are, it will be good for 2 years. So which is pretty good. A lot of digital nomad visas you have to reapply every year. This you're good for 2 years. After 2 years, you can reapply through the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. I'm not sure how the reapplication process works, but I believe it's pretty straightforward. And but either way, it gives you 2 years in Colombia to figure out if you really love it, if you want to go for another kind of visa. There are other visa options if you want to stay longer term, buying properties, stuff like that. Again, affordable options. But 2 years should be a good enough window to decide whether you really like it or you want to move on. And okay, so once you are approved and you decide to go, you will have to pay some kind of a digital nomad visa fee, basically, to get in. Depending on where you're coming from and different variables, it's going to be around $200, give or take like $30. So it could be 170, could be up to 230. It depends on a few things, but again, that's not too bad altogether. With the application fee, you're looking at about $250. That's one of your most expensive expenses. That's one of the most expensive expenses you're going to be facing with the Colombia digital nomad visa. It's a very affordable option. I was just there for 3 weeks between a couple different cities, and when you're just staying there in a hotel, you're gonna spend more on food, and even then, it's very affordable. It's really cool. You have really whatever you're into. Excuse me, there's going to be something for you. You got your beach life, you got mountain life. If you want it to feel like spring throughout the year, if you want summer on the there's islands. There's really something for everybody, and it's really a fantastic place. Honestly, if I didn't have a dog that was a pit bull, I would consider that, but you can't bring your pit bull into the country. At least last I checked with Colombia. That was, I checked a year ago. I'll double check, and so if I'm incorrect, I will tweak this. But if you're seeing this part, it means you can't get your pit bull in, which is why I'm not going. But I don't know. It's a very fantastic option, and but yeah, that's really the lowdown of the digital nomad visa. So if you have any questions about Colombia digital nomad visa, or you have a particular country you want me to focus on next, just put it down in the comments. Or ask any questions. You can ask questions about dog travel. I will be uploading additional dog videos about traveling with dogs, because that's its own separate topic. But yeah, like, subscribe, do all that good stuff. And so for now, I will just catch you guys later. See ya.